Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 2, Book 22, number 313. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, when the adhan for the prayer is pronounced, then Satan takes to his heels passing winds so that he may not hear the adhan, and when the muadhin finishes, he comes back. And when the Qama is pronounced, he again takes to his heels, and when it is finished, he again comes back and continues reminding the praying person of things that he used not to remember when not in prayer till he forgets how much he has prayed. Abu Salama bin Abdurrahman said, if any one of you has such a thing, forgetting the number of rakat he has prayed, he should perform 2 prostrations of sahu, i.e. forgetfulness, while sitting. Abu Salama narrates this from Abu Hurairah. Volume 2, Book 22, number 314. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. People say that I narrate too many narrations of the Prophet. Once I met a man, during the lifetime of the Prophet, and asked him, which surah did Allah's Apostle recite yesterday in the Isha prayer? He said, I do not know. I said, did you not attend the prayer? He said, yes, I did. I said, I know. He recited such and such surah. Volume 2, Book 22, number 315. Narrated by Abdullah bin Buhaina. Allah's Apostle once led us in a prayer and offered 2 rakat and got up, for the 3rd rakah, without sitting, after the 2nd rakah. The people also got up with him, and when he was about to finish his prayer, we waited for him to finish the prayer with taslim, but he said takbir before taslim and performed 2 prostrations while sitting and then finished the prayer with taslim. Volume 2, Book 22, number 316. Narrated by Abdullah bin Buhaina. Allah's Apostle got up after the 2nd rakah of the Zuhr prayer without sitting in between the 2nd and the 3rd rakat. When he finished the prayer, he performed 2 prostrations of sahu, and then finished the prayer with taslim. Volume 2, Book 22, number 317. Narrated by Abdullah. Once Allah's Apostle offered 5 rakat in the Zuhr prayer, and somebody asked him whether there was some increase in the prayer. Allah's Apostle said, what is that? He said, you have offered 5 rakat. So Allah's Apostle performed 2 prostrations of sahu after taslim. Volume 2, Book 22, number 318. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet led us in the Asr or the Zuhr prayer and finished it with taslim. Dhul Yardan said to him, O Allah's Apostle, has the prayer been reduced? The Prophet asked his companions in the affirmative. So Allah's Apostle I offered 2 more rakat and then performed 2 prostrations of sahu. Sa'd said, I saw that Ursa bin Az Zubair had offered 2 rakat in the Maghrib prayer and finished it with taslim. He then talked, and when he was informed about it, he completed the rest of his prayer and performed 2 prostrations, and said, the Prophet prayed like this. Volume 2, Book 22, number 319. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Once Allah's Apostle offered 2 rakat and finished his prayer. So Dhul Yardan asked him, has the prayer been reduced or have you forgotten? Allah's Apostle said, has Dhul Yardan spoken the truth? The people replied in the affirmative. Then Allah's Apostle stood up and offered the remaining 2 rakat and performed taslim, and then said takbir and performed 2 prostrations like his usual prostrations, or a bit longer, and then got up. Volume 2, Book 22, number 320. Narrated by Salama bin Alqama. I asked Muhammad bin Sirin whether tashahhud should be recited after the 2 prostrations of sahu. He replied, It is not mentioned in Abu Hurairah's narration. Volume 2, Book 22, number 321. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet offered one of the evening prayers. The sub-narrator Muhammad said, I think that it was most probably the Asr prayer, and he finished it after offering 2 rakat only. He then stood near a piece of wood in front of the mosque and put his hand over it. Abu Bakr and Umar were amongst those who were present. But they dared not talk to him about that, because of excessive respect for him. And those who were in a hurry went out. They said, Has the prayer been reduced? A man who was called Dhul Yardan by the Prophet said to the Prophet, Has the prayer been reduced or have you forgotten? He said, Neither have I forgotten, nor has the prayer been reduced. He said, Certainly you have forgotten. So the Prophet offered 2 more rakat and performed tashahhud and then said takbir and performed a prostration of sahu like his ordinary prostration or a bit longer and then raised his head and said takbir. And then put his head down and performed a prostration like his ordinary prostration or a bit longer, and then raised his head and said takbir. Volume 2, Book 22, number 322. Narrated by Abdullah bin Buhayna al-Azdi. The ally of Bani Abdul Muttalib, Allah's apostle, stood up for the Zuhr prayer and he should have sat after the 2nd rakah, but he stood up for the 3rd rakah without sitting for tashahhud. And when he finished the prayer he performed 2 prostrations and said takbir on each prostration while sitting, before ending the prayer with taslim. And the people too performed the 2 prostrations with him instead of the sitting he forgot. Volume 2, Book 22, number 323. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, When the call for prayer is made, Satan takes to his heels passing wind, so that he may not hear the adhan, and when the call is finished he comes back, and when the Qamah is pronounced, Satan again takes to his heels, and when the Qamah is finished he comes back again and tries to interfere with the person and his thoughts and say, Remember this and that, which he has not thought of before the prayer, till the praying person forgets how much he has prayed. If any one of you does not remember whether he has offered 3 or 4 rakat, then he should perform 2 prostrations of sahu while sitting. Volume 2, Book 22, number 324. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, When any one of you stands for the prayers, Satan comes and puts him in doubts till he forgets how many rakat he has prayed. So if this happens to any one of you, he should perform 2 prostrations of sahu while sitting.